Okay, so hello everyone. And I see many people I know in the audience. It's a pity we cannot meet. Maybe next time. So hello everyone. Then okay, now in this session we talk about the new features about file transfers, and there are many enhancements we did in the last months. And there is also something very nice that we are doing at the moment, and there is something even good for the future. So now let's have a look at what we already did. So in FTF3, but it is also available on the Automation Hub, there is a new plugin for file transfer, and it has many new nice enhancements. So the first one is that now you can transfer files in parallel, and this is making it much faster. So it is opening several channels and transferring the files in different channels. Then we have some additional security and usability improvements, like you can encrypt the file or decrypt the file or compress or uncompress. So if you're sending this file to a third party and you require the file to be encrypted or compressed, or if you're receiving from an external server and you have to decrypt with a specific key, then this is embedded in the product. So there's a plugin to do that. There are new post-processing and pre-processing during the transfer of the files. So you can delete after the file is being sent or downloaded. So you can rename the file, even with some wildcards and with regular expressions. So this is a powerful mechanism if you want to rename the file. So you can move the file to a different directory after it is transferred, for example. Of course, you can transfer files to or from Z. So we are supporting protocols, Z protocols or D protocols. And this is available for distributed for Z, even on SAS, and you can use this plugin on 9.4, 9.5, and it is available on the Automation Hub. So on the Automation Hub, we're publishing all the latest version of the plugins. So even if you're running 9.4, you can still get the latest version of the plugin. Just go to the Automation Hub and download the plugin, then you can install it. One very important feature is that now you have a full control of the file transfers. So you can see the files being transferred, you can see the transfer rate and how many bytes were transferred. You can have a completion time estimate, so you know when this job will complete. And you can also have recovery actions. So you can rerun from the point of failure. So in case of failure in the file transfer, you can see the specific file that was not transferred, and you can rerun from that point of failure. But you can even restart from the beginning. So if the job started and one file is wrong, you can replace the file and restart the transfer of that single file. Or you can retransfer only a subset of files, and at any time you can stop the transfer of a single file. So if you realize that the file you're sending is wrong, maybe it's empty or maybe it's corrupt, then you can just stop, replace the file, and restart from the beginning of this specific file transfer, while the other files are still being sent. This is a quick overview of the different things you can do while transferring files as a post-processing actions. And we'll see them in more details during the demo, because we'll have a demo at the end of this presentation. So you can replace the file if already exists, rename, append. This is also something nice. So if it is a text file and you want to append something to an existing file, this is something you can do. You can skip the file if already present. You can abandon the job if the file is already present. And you can rename the file while it is being transferred. And you can use regular expressions, and you can use also variables in this regular expression, and this is making this mechanism really powerful. And we'll see that in the demo, because you can do really nice things. Right in the source file, you can delete it or move it. Maybe you have a directory with the processed or transferred file, so you can move to that directory after the file is successfully sent to the destination. There is a filter on the task type, so you can have on your dashboard a widget with only the jobs of a specific task type. So in this example, you can have a widget with just the jobs of file transfer. So you can easily see what is happening to your jobs of the specific type. And this is not just for the file transfer. This is available for all the type of jobs. And you can also put a list of task types, so you can get the information of a subset of task types. And by using this feature, we developed a dedicated dashboard for file transfers. So there's this dashboard that is specific for file transfers. You can have a very clear understanding of what is happening in all the file transfers in your shop. This dashboard is also available on the Automation Hub. So if you want to use it, so if you want to import this dashboard, just go to the Automation Hub, get the dashboard, and install it on the DWC. And this is for 9.5 only, so the DWC has to be 9.5 to import this dashboard. And more dashboards will come on the Automation Hub. So whenever we develop a dashboard that is useful for many users, we'll publish that there, so you can see what is available, and if you like it, you can download it and you can use it. So in this case, so there's some jobs in error, and I can click on the job in error and go into the details to see what is happening. And I can have a panel like this. So this is all the files being transferred for a job. So you can see different files and the status and the progress and the size of the file, the speed and the remaining time. And you can click on one of them and take recovery action. So so this one failed, so I can select this one and I can restart from the point of failure, or I can restart from the beginning, or I can click on this eye here and get the details of why this file transfer failed. So I may see maybe the file is already present at destination, and I want to stop in case the file is already present. Maybe you don't have the correct permissions on the folder destination, whatever it is. You just click here and know what is happening, so you can recover, and you can restart that single transfer. So the others that are already completed are already done, and you can recover that single file transfer. Or as I said, I can stop a file transfer or restart from where it failed. So it's time for the demo. So Ludovica.
Hi everyone. Yeah, we'll go over together to these simple scenarios that my colleague was showing. Now I will take control of the screen. Okay, so in the first scenario, we'll compress a folder, encrypting it, and then we will send everything we have to some destination. And in the second scenario, we'll do the other way around. So we receive a folder from an external machine, we unzip this folder, and we decrypt all the files that were inside this folder. So let's start with the first one. The first job stream, so the first scenario, is composed of 4 different jobs that we'll go over and see and have a better look at them. This job stream will run on a workstation class because I don't want to duplicate the job stream to send it to doing the same things to different destinations. So I've created a workstation class to containing 2 different workstations connected to different destinations through the variable tables. So let's go over the single jobs. Let's start with the compression job. There is a compression plugin available on the Automation app. It asks for the local credential if the user is different from the one executing the job. In our case, we don't need them. And in the action tab, we are going to specify the action we are going to do. If we are extracting files from an archive, and we specify the path of the archive if it has a password, and where to extract this zip. In our case, we are instead creating an archive, so we are specifying through a variable the folder we want to compress, that is called encrypt because it's the same that will be encrypted at the end. We are going to do a zip file, and this archive will be located in this path, and it will be called with the name of the host name we want to send this file to. We can specify some more additional options if according to our needs. Can delete the files after we are extracted or use a password. As for other options, we could just list content of an already existing archive or verify if the archive is a correct one. Once this compression job ends, we will have the encryption. We need to encrypt. So again, we can specify the local credentials. We need to specify if we are doing a symmetric encryption or an asymmetric encryption. In case of symmetric, we can specify the algorithm to use. In case of asymmetric, we need to specify the paths to the keys we need to use, private or public, according if we are doing an encryption or a decryption. In the files information, we need to specify the list of files we want to encrypt or decrypt. In this case, we are taking the file to process from the previous job, so as an output property of the compression job. We want to encrypt it, and we don't want to sign this encryption. And we specify the path that will contain our encrypted folder. In the other case, we want to decrypt, and we specify the path where to put the decrypted file. We can just sign an encrypted file or verify its signature. After this encryption, we want to actually send the files, and we arrived to the main point of this presentation, the file transfer plugin. In the connection tab, we specify the protocol we want to use, SSH, FTP, Windows protocol. The host name to connect to, port if it's different from the default one of the selected protocol, and a connection timeout. We specify the remote user that needs to connect to the remote machine and its password, in this case taken from the agent properties file, or a key store. In the action, we specify the direction, if it's either a send or a receive. The local user, we don't need to impersonate a different user from the one running the job, so they are not populated. In the source section, we specify the list of files that we need to send or receive. we are taking all the files in this folder, for each workstation, only the ones that start with the name of the host name. So we are doing a regular matching expression to take only the files we want. And then we are using the output property of the encryption job to send also the encrypted folder. Here we specify the destination path and if we need to change the file's permissions. As for the source option, so the post-processing option my colleague was talking about, we can delete, move, rename files after we have transferred them. As for the destination option, we can rename the destination files using a regular expression. In our case, we want to match all files with the hostname keyword as first group, a second group, and the extension group as the third group. And we want to remove the hostname keyword before each file. We want to take the second group, so the actual name of the file. We want to append the timestamp taken from properties of the agent, and then we are adding the extension. The last tab is the option tab. What to do if a file already exists on the destination site? We can specify it here. We can replace it, renaming, automatically adding a timestamp. We can append the content to the already existing file. We can skip just this file or make the job end in append. We can specify the transfer mode, a timeout to wait for the file. So if we know that the file to transfer will be there, but we are not sure that it will actually be there once we start this job, we can specify a timeout for the job to wait if the file isn't present when it checks for it. Then we can specify a maximum number of simultaneous transfer if we want to limit the number of parallel transfers. If we had specified FTP, we can specify some more options and also some additional options for the GOS. The other job you saw in the job stream, the expose date, is an executable that allows us to actually create this parameter to take to create a timestamp inside the agent properties file, so that we can add it to our file. Okay, so let's submit this job stream. Okay, they are in exec. I said that the workstation class contains 2 different workstations. So there is one job stream for each workstation speaking to a different destination. The compression job has completed successfully. The executable that is creating the parameter has completed. And now we are transferring the files. We can see here everything that is going on at every instant in time. We can refresh to see the execution. We can stop whatever file we have selected. I needed to stop as soon as possible, otherwise it would have ended before I finished to explain this view. Because in this view we have many information. The source file and an auto refresh that happened while I was working. The source file, so the file we are taking care at the moment, and the name it has been renamed to. So you see that to each file we have appended the timestamp. The status, so the current status that file is in. A percentual progress, progress in percentage at that precise instant of time. The last update of this progress, the size over the total size, and the nicest thing is the remaining time and elapsed time. So through this with this information, we can estimate how much time we still need for this job to run. In 2 seconds, it's going to auto-refresh again. The other files are all completed. I have stopped this. Every time a file stops, we can check its failure reason. And it's going to tell us that I have canceled this transfer. And we have all other options to recover from some other failures, whatever has happened. We can either restart all the jobs if there were some serious issue and none have started, like SSH close channel. We can resume all. The difference between resume and restart is the starting point of the transfer. In case of restart, it will restart from 0%, so from the beginning. In case of resume, it's going to restart from the 25%. And you see it's already started again, and it's completing without retransferring everything it has done up until that point. Everything has completed, the job is successful. From the job log, we can see everything that has happened, so for a more complete information. Let's go back to our view. So this is successful. The other was this one, successful as well. So both workstations have completed successfully their transfer. Through the job view, we can add the task type filter if we want only to see the jobs, the file transfer jobs. And here there is the dashboard that my colleague was talking about before, when we can see we have a complete picture of everything that is going on at a particular moment in time. Let's go over the second scenario. This is the job stream I had imported into this environment through this morning presentation with the workload application template. And we are doing the other way around. So we are receiving with a receive file transfer, decompression, so using the other option of the decompression plugin. Compression and decompression plugin is selected the extract file option this time. Same for the decryption job, we are doing the other way around. So we have specified in this case the private key and not the public key. And in the action tab, we have specified that we want to decrypt whatever we have specified in the source option, in the source section. Once this is done, we are just moving what we have received, the compressed decrypted, to another location. We can submit it. And from the job stream view, we can see this is in exec. The first job was a file transfer job that has completed successfully. Now, if we go here, we have one more job in a successful state. This concludes my presentation. I see there are a lot of questions in the chat. I didn't have a way to check for them. I don't know if Umberto has already answered.
Yeah, I believe I answered probably all the questions. But if there are still some other questions, feel free to send them again. Or if you want to see something live, it's a good chance to have a look at the UI.
I'm going over the question. If you have any other, meanwhile, you can ask.
So are there any other questions or even comments, feedback, whatever you want to share? It's fine. Even if there are suggestions for improvements, just to let us know if we are in the right direction and this is meeting your expectations.
Hey guys, it's Dean. Yeah, no, it all looks pretty good. I can see a lot of uses for it. I've been kind of waiting for this level of transfer to become available for us. So as soon as we get 9.5 up and running properly in our environments, I'm hoping that we'll start to make good use of this. I think once we get usage in the real world, we'll have more feedback for you.
Yeah, yeah. And this is also for 9.4, so you do not need 9.5.
Okay, yeah, I thought that earlier actually. I need to go and look at the hub and see what's available. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, great.
And this is, you see here, there is the dashboard I've used before, and here there is the plugin so ready to download once the page loads. Okay. There is some the new features, some documentation on the parameters that it needs, and it's the history, and you see here that it says that it's supported for all these versions.
Okay, that's great. We can meet those expectations, so that's all good. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.